In June of 2020, I received an invitation to Key West, Florida. I packed my musical instruments and a couple of cameras. I hopped into the little blue car and I got out on the road, leaving the security of the little New Mexico town where I'd spent the last 18 years working and raising my 3 kids. Since then, I've been in search of community, music, and a new way of walking in this world. With no clue about filmmaking, I began documenting my travels. I shot many hours of video that I really had no idea what to do with. I allowed myself to play, laughing and joking with the camera as if it was my friend.
Your gas cap is open! Your gas cap is open!
I hope they heard me.
I have to poop. Can we stop and poop? I need to poop.
It appears that Louisiana is made mostly of grass and trees, from what I can see. Louisiana is composed mainly of grass and trees.
I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am gonna go through Mississippi. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am gonna go through Mississippi. Yes, I am.
All this stuff to keep together. All this gear to keep straight. The instruments, the chops, the camera gear. Isn't this fun? Incredibly lush and green, just like, I mean, not quite like Hawaii, but look, just green. It's just green. First order of business is to get some bug spray, because there are bugs. The more water you got, the more bugs you got. Water brings life, and life is bugs. Well, one form of life. And the more water you got, the more undergrowth, the harder it is to make it through the forest. I live in a place, New Mexico, where there's not a lot of water. So there's not a lot of growth. Everything's just kind of struggling to survive. Anyhow, that's how it is. Yes, yes. What are we going to play this morning? What kind of rig do we need? Yeah, I'm definitely checking for gators. Good, hiding. Leaping from the water. I don't want to be dragged into no water. There's lots of spiders down here. Jambalaya, crawfish pie. How's it go? Jambalaya, crawfish pie. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo,
'Cause tonight I'm going to see my share of Rio. Pick guitar, filthy jaw, and beguile. Son of a gun, we're having fun on the bayou. Yes, indeed. You see any gators out there? Welcome to the bayou. If you see any gators coming, let me know. On the bayou. Slow-moving river on the banks of October. Slow-moving river, won't you take me to your home?
There was one song in particular that was on my heart as I was making that trip down to the Florida Keys. It was one that I had written years ago that had recently come back to me, as the good songs often do. The chorus goes like this: letting go of what we once knew takes a faith beyond superstition and a hope that fills us with a hunger that may never be satisfied.
People are just people doing just what people do. People are just hoping to be touched by you. Some of them are people who are living in your town. Some of them are people who live half a world around. People are just people and we're all just passing through. People holding on to what people once knew. People holding on to what we once knew. Letting go of what we once knew takes a faith beyond superstition. It takes a hope that fills us with a hunger that may never be satisfied. That may never be satisfied. I have been afraid to show you how I feel, and I have felt alone in my struggle. I have been unable to discern what is real. Somehow I forgot this song. Somehow I forgot this song. People are just swimming out there trying to stay afloat. People are just looking for a rescue boat. Some of them are people who are living in your town. Some of them are people who live half a world around. People are just people and we're all just passing through. People holding on to what people once knew. People holding on to what we once knew. Letting go of what we once knew takes a faith beyond superstition. Takes a hope that fills us with a hunger that may never be satisfied. That may never be satisfied. A faith beyond superstition.
Over 3 years ago, I left my 20-year marriage. I told my wife 2 simple things, and then I walked out the door. This is what I said: I've come as far as I can go in this marriage, and I need to learn to take care of myself. Learning to care for myself has been much more difficult than I could have ever imagined. At first, I thought that I would just find a new woman, continue working at my career in physical therapy, and live happily ever after. But it wasn't that simple. I've been deeply humbled in my attempts to find love. I've had so many good teachers and friends. I'm so grateful for all the help and guidance that I've received, especially over the last 3 years since my divorce. I give thanks to God for all of you. The purpose of this video is to let you know that I'm okay. I'm okay, but I also need to step away even further from all of this. I'm going to go find a quiet place in the wilderness for as long as God allows me to stay. I've been inspired by Christ's wilderness experience. I need to pray. I need to fast. This ego needs to surrender completely. I'm speaking to you this way through this video because if I were to speak to you personally, well, it just wouldn't work out the way it needs to. Learning to take care of myself has been a bust. I have failed. I have no will to perform any longer. Either God will take care of me or I will just pass from this world. I am exhausted again. And I know that there is nothing that any of you can do to help. You've already done it. God must have other plans. Thank you again for all of your prayers and your love. Please pray that this suffering man would pass away and that a new creation would live in its place. For many months, my prayer has been that my children would see the resurrection in me. Please join me in this prayer. When my brother killed himself recently, I understood how suicide is an impersonation of the true death of self that must happen in order to have a rebirth of spirit. I'm praying for the true death of self, or the realization that this self never really existed at all. It seems that I am still quite convinced of the reality of this suffering man. He needs to surrender fully. This is the only hope for true life. I am convinced. I am humbled. I am broke. I gave myself away by mirrors and by smoke. Gospel man with feet of clay. I gave myself away. I'll be going offline. I won't be answering any texts, phone calls, or social media for an undetermined amount of time. God bless you, my friends. You are light. You are love. You are lovable, and you are capable of loving. I love you, and I am truly grateful for all the time that we have shared. You have brightened my life and my experience here. Thank you so much.